How did Napoleon Bonaparte, once the man who shaped the fate of Europe, end his days as a sick and isolated man on a forgotten island in the middle of the ocean? Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the most brilliant and controversial figures to emerge from the political chaos of post-revolutionary France. Rising from a humble artillery officer to general, then first consul, and finally emperor of the French, he not only ruled France, but reshaped the map of Europe. He commanded the most powerful armies of his era, brought monarchies to their knees, and influenced legal systems with his Napoleonic Code. Yet this meteoric rise was gradually undone by his ambition, years of warfare, and the eventual unification of European powers against him. The Russian campaign of 1812 marked a critical turning point in his fate. Though he advanced all the way to Moscow, Russian scorched earth tactics and the brutal winter decimated his army. Starvation, disease, and freezing temperatures killed thousands. The myth of Napoleon's invincibility was shattered. This disaster was followed by the Battle of Leipzig in 1813 and other military defeats across Europe, which pushed Napoleon closer to collapse. In 1814, with Paris falling into enemy hands, Napoleon abdicated the throne for the first time and was exiled to Elba, a small island in the Mediterranean. But for a man like Napoleon, this was not the end. In 1815, he escaped Elba and returned to France, sparking a dramatic resurgence known as the 100 Days. Greeted enthusiastically by the people and rejoined by his former generals, Napoleon once again became emperor. Yet this comeback was short-lived. His defeat at the Battle of Waterloo sealed his fate once and for all. The British, determined to eliminate any chance of a second return, sent him far away, so far that he would be forgotten. They chose St. Helena, a remote and windswept island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean. Isolated both geographically and politically, the island was more a prison than a place of exile. St. Helena was harsh, damp, and gloomy. Napoleon was housed in Longwood House, a poorly built, humid, and unhealthy residence. At first, he was accompanied by a small group of loyal aides, especially General Bertrand, Las Cases, and Gourgaud. They would talk, recall past battles, and document his thoughts. Las Cases' Memoirs of St. Helena became one of the most important sources illuminating Napoleon's final years. These writings are not just records of events, but a window into his inner world, his regrets, pride, and enduring political visions. As time passed, his companions gradually left or became distanced. Napoleon's health declined steadily. He suffered from persistent stomach pain, loss of appetite, and extreme fatigue. His relationship with the British governor Hudson Lowe was hostile and tense. Lowe restricted his correspondence, censored his letters, and tightened control over his surroundings, possibly with the intent of breaking his spirit. Napoleon slowly deteriorated, both physically and mentally. His once commanding presence had faded into a shadow of loneliness and silence. On May 5, 1821, at the age of just 51, Napoleon died. The official cause was recorded as stomach cancer. However, later studies discovered traces of arsenic in his remains, leading to speculation that he may have been deliberately poisoned. Even today, historians continue to debate the true cause of his death. Was it natural, or was it an orchestrated political assassination? Following his death, Napoleon was buried in a quiet valley on St. Helena. But in 1840, amid growing nostalgia for the former emperor, King Louis-Philippe of France ordered his remains returned to Paris. With great ceremony, his body was reinterred at Les Invalides, where it remains today beneath a magnificent golden dome, visited by millions each year. Napoleon's final days present one of the most striking ironies in history. A man who once marched through the heart of Europe in triumph, who crowned himself emperor in Notre Dame Cathedral, died in isolation, surrounded not by soldiers or cheering crowds, but by mist, wind, and memory. His solitude was not only physical, but symbolic. A once great ruler now silenced by time, politics, and geography. And yet his story is not merely about the fall of a man. Napoleon was both a product and a shaper of his time. His death marked not just the end of his life, but the end of an era. Still, his name, his impact, and his myth endure. He remains one of the most studied, admired, and debated leaders in history. His legacy continues to echo across time, not only in monuments and books, but in the questions he leaves us with about power, ambition, and the cost of greatness. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.